It's your boy Lord Hybrid, and we're gonna start with today is about levels of money. Levels of money. Now, most of us, or many of us, start here. This is zero. If you can start at zero, you lucky. But if you're anything like me, you ain't that lucky. You don't get to start at zero. Because when you 18 years old, they send you to a university and you go in the hole, right? Or either many people, even if they didn't go to college to get in the hole, they're saying that Americans are carrying over $1 trillion. I don't know how many trillions dollars of unsecured credit card debt. So you get in the hole through credit cards, car notes, things like that. So you start, for me, starting off life, I started at, in the hole, negative 40K. So when you in the hole, this is like you in the in the crate. You I ain't gonna say you dead, because you ain't dead, but you in the hole. So this is you. You probably got on some Nike shoes. You in the hole. And you looking up, and your goal is just to get the damn zero. Okay? So this is the first level. And you ain't even made it to the first level yet. And you know what? So your net worth is negative, especially if you got a credit card or a car note. Now, with a mortgage, I would say in most cases, mortgages is negative because you get a valuable asset for the mortgage. So if usually a mortgage makes your net worth positive because you paid, if you bought a house for $400,000, you probably had to put 20% down. So you probably had to put like $80,000 down, somewhere in that area. So you kind of got a little bit of equity in it. So I wouldn't put the mortgage on here, but you got the credit cards, you got the college debt. So you in the hole. And this is where I started. Lord Hybrid started in his early 20s in the hole, with a caveat of with bad credit. So I'm 40K in the hole. This is me. I'm just trying to get to zero. And it took me over 20 years just to get to zero. So the first level is, if you haven't made the decision to go to college, unless you're going to something that you know is going to pay off, and these days we don't know what's going to pay off with AI coming and all that stuff. If you can skip this, you can get to zero pretty quick because you might already be at zero. So if you are in this negative situation like me, then you have to employ two concepts. One, you have to pour frugality. You shouldn't be driving no fly car, like a lot of the dummies that I went to school with. You shouldn't be living in to the max of your abilities. My personal belief, you shouldn't even be investing in a 401k. You shouldn't be making no investments. If you're negative, your investment should be getting to zero. Like I said, it took me 20 plus years to get to zero. I was in my 40s before I got to zero. Well into my 40s. But anyway, number 2 is hustle. Because you need to be working, and so hustle means work hard on your job plus side hustle. Work hard on your job plus you need a side hustle. And that's for you to determine. So at the same time, even if you have the college degree, you need to invest in your own education. This will be the most valuable education, and it'll be the cheapest education. So studying business, studying taxes, studying sales, studying anything you can that's going to empower your side hustle. Because eventually your side hustle can replace your job. My side hustle replaced my job, and my side hustle more than 10x my income. You know, my side hustle led me to ownership of a 7-figure business when I didn't have a 6-figure income. I had much less than a 6-figure income, and my side hustle turned into a 7-figure income. So the education part is critical, and it's cheap because find good entrepreneurs or good people who you would want to be mentored by. Now this is who you avoid. Academics. I'm about to spell it like the podcaster academics. No. Academics. Avoid these guys. Academics are professors and people who career is teaching and they never did nothing. No, you want to find doers like entrepreneurs or professionals who are like, if you want to be an accountant, you don't want to listen to a accounting professor. You want to listen to somebody who is an active accountant who has a successful business who could tell you the ins and outs of being an accountant. If you want to be a business, boom, you can find people specific. If you want to be a successful real estate person, find a real estate entrepreneur. He's probably written books. He's given interviews, seminars, and pay for that. And it's cheap because you probably can go to a seminar for $300. You can buy a book for $25, $30. The self-education, because I have both. I have an academic education and I have a self-education. My academic education maxed out at $66.5K per year. That's when I left. I was at that salary exactly when I left the job market. And my income for my self-education with less time. It took me over 20 years to get to 66.5 thousand a year. And it only took me maybe 11 years to get to greater than $1 million, 7 figures. So I make more than $1 million now for my self-education. So which one's more valuable? This one costs a lot more. This one cost me $40K. This one cost me, I can't even calculate, but probably like from books and watching interviews, maybe $1,000, if that, less than $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So all of these goes into getting to zero. So if you have the negative net worth, if you have debt, your first priority is to get to zero. I want to be a nothing. Get to zero. Then, like, my hustle and my frugality and my education all work together to get me to zero. Now, once I got to zero, I had established a system. All the businesses, because I turned my side hustle into a business. A business is simply a system. So I created a sustainable money generation system that I could manage and grow. And I work within the system that I created and I own. And 100%, let's do it again. See, when you start a LLC, you own it 100%. So if through your education, which I told you about, you will get the know-how to create a business system. You won't get this from your academic education. You won't get it from the academic education. You will have to self-educate to be able to get the knowledge to build a business system. So my side hustle converted into a business, and my business system, my money generation system, got me from here to here. See, with my academic education, after 20 years, I still owe the same $40K, and I've paid interest and I've made payments, but I had times when I wasn't employed, so I got fees and interest and paying interest on top of interest, and all of the payments got gobbled up by the fees and the interest for the times that I couldn't pay. So I spent my wheels for 20 years. Now, another thing is, to get to zero, they have a plan for you. Their plan is for you to make those payments because they know it'll take you 20 to 30 years to pay it off on their system, and they know you're gonna have some hookups in them years. So that's gonna allow them to put the more fees and interest on top of interest when you can't pay, and forbearance and deferments and all of that stuff. And that's and they know over 20 years you're gonna still have the same principal balance for them to charge you interest off. So that's what happened to me. So for me, it was necessary to create the system to more than 10x my income. Once you got above average, a 10x income, then these little bills just gonna disappear if you're not stupid. I didn't have my G-Wagon when I paid off my debt. I didn't have my I don't even think I had my Lexus when I paid off my debt. So I got to zero. Now it's time to wealth build. Now the beautiful thing about it is, and this happens to everybody, it happens to me, and I see people that's doing it, and it's stupid, but I did it too. You celebrate you take a time to celebrate your wealth. So for me, Already had a Honda. I didn't need it. I bought a Lexus. I bought it cash for I think like $70K, a little bit under $70K. Then I bought a G-Wagon cash for I think like maybe $140K or something like that. I can't remember exactly how much I paid. Like 150, 140, something like that. So I celebrated my wealth. Now, the G-Wagon came after I paid off my house. So I had equity in my house. I paid $415 for my house, which is now worth about $655K. I owed about $310. So this is my current equity. This is what I paid, my cost basis. And this is what it costs for me to eliminate the debt. So debt is useful if you know how to use it right. So I took out I think $323,000. I paid for 3 years. It got down to $310, and then I wiped that out. So now I'm living in now. This zero is a thing of the past, because I took another celebration, another lap after I paid off my house. Now I got zero debt. This is gone. The $40K for students, the $310K. Now I have zero debt. So now I have zero debt. Plus I have this business system that I created that's continually kicking out on a monthly basis between, on a low month, $80K to a good month, $120K, right? I got no debt. I'm driving so I bought the G-Wagon. I got the Lexus, still got the Honda. I've 10X'd my income. And now I just took some time off, as far as not from my business, but to celebrate a new level, right? So all I did was I only saved like $1,750, $1,800 a month in mortgage. So it wasn't really a big mortgage. But the fact that I had no bills, I just was like, you know what? I'm going to give you a few months just to spend recklessly. And I did. Traveling, clothes, jewelry, whatever you want, you get. And I got that till I had to go through that. I had to go through that phase. And fortunately, the way the human mind works, everything gets boring. So the celebration and blowing money got boring in probably 4 months. So, okay, now I'm done with the celebration stage. And I bought the car. I got the watch. I got the clothes. I had the hose. I did everything I could possibly do to celebrate. Now the celebration is boring. And now I'm starting to see things that I want, like second homes. And everything that I like costs $2.5 million, which I can get those things now. But once I got out the zero phase, and even before so, I started building my base layer. My base layer of money is my gold primarily, plus a little silver. And I reached my goal. And this is important to have a base layer. So now I'm out the hole. after 20 some years, I finally made it to zero. You don't have to go in the hole and get tricked like I did when I was 18 to get in a bunch of debt and put me in the hole. If you can start from zero, God bless you. If you can start from zero and still implement the frugality, the hustle, and the self-education, it'll be way better, right? So anyway, I have my base layer now. So this is a nice solid number. And my original base layer that I wanted was a base layer of gold and silver, as well as I wanted 10 Bitcoin, which I achieved. But I got a little greedy, and I started lending out my Bitcoin, and they got it from me. Fortunately, the individuals in the company that stole my 10 Bitcoin, they're currently living in prison, and I'll be getting back about 53% of that. And it's already been sold. I already actually got a check for like $90K, and they owe me another approximately $500K, which should be coming this year. So I had a meeting with my CPA this morning, and we discussed that. And she's making some arrangements for me so that I'll be able to, because it's owned by one of my corporations, so it had to make some changes so that I can pull that money out with the least possible amount of tax. And we're working on that as of this morning. So, and I got the $90K laying around, but I can't do nothing with it yet, so it's just laying there. So I eliminated this base layer because I don't have faith in crypto anymore. So, but I have a lot of faith in particularly gold, but also silver. So now, I always keep a good bit of cash. Not, I'm trying to keep less, but enough to handle any kind of big situation, keep some in my business, and also keep some of my business, also keep some for my personal use. So now the next layer. So I'm comfortable with my base layer of money. Also, my home is a base layer too. It's an asset that I can borrow against. So if I just had an emergency situation, I need $200K, I don't necessarily have to sell my gold. I can borrow because I have a business. I have a money generation system that's kicking out constantly 180 to 120K monthly. So that's there, and it's going to be there. So I have my base layer. I have zero debt. So I'm out the hole. I have a income generation system that doesn't require me to work for somebody else. I've more than 10x my income, more than 10x. I've, went through my blowing money phase, even though I'm still flying first class and I'm still fucking top bitches when I feel like it, but that's not a priority. I have my base layer. I took an L on this, but even though I took an L on it, I'm still going to be up like 600K when it's all said and done. And it only cost me I'm already up on everything I lost because I invested 60K. So I already got a 90K check. So I'm up already. And they still owe me 500K, which I should get this year. At the same time while I'm still generating this. So I decided, because I was like, I got to invest in something. I decided to go into the stock market. And that's where I'm at now. And so I'm not a day trading or nothing. I learned my trading strategy and my investment strategy from crypto. I never was really into stocks or nothing until this past month. Everything I learned from trading and stuff like that, I learned from crypto. So I decided that I wanted to, I wasn't even thinking about stock. I just wanted to stack paper and try to come up with something. I was thinking I'll buy some land. But I came across some information about a company that I really believed in what this company was about. Because I'm not investing just for the money. I'm investing for something that I believe in. It was just like Bitcoin. I didn't invest in Bitcoin to get rich because I didn't know that that was possible. I just believed in having a sovereign digital currency that wasn't controlled by the government. And I ended up making a lot of money through the process and learning so much. But one thing about crypto, what I learned was find a good crypto that's a low market cap and get in while it's low and ride it up. So I'm taking everything that I learned from crypto and I'm putting it into the stock market. And so I found something that I believed in that met that criteria. And that's what I'm doing now because I want to be able to take my gains from the stock market and then have my own kind of venture capital fund. So I'm taking all these earnings from right here. After I pay my people, pay myself, and every month I'm going here. So last month I went in with 100K. And yesterday I went in with 65K. This is all within 30 days. It's less than 30 days I'm in. And I've got a pretty good return. I mean, I haven't invested all of this 65K yet. I've actually only invested 10 out of the 65 that I put in yesterday. So I got cash laying on the side, hoping I can catch me a drop or something. And this, what I'm doing now is for my future venture capital firm. So I'm expecting and anticipating that by the end of 2026, this will be valued at about, I would say, from 1.5 to 2.5 million. You know what I'm saying? So these are the layers of my money. These are the layers. This is my diagram. This is my blueprint. It's a historical record. It's a blueprint, and it's a plan for the future for me. You know what I'm saying? So we go down here. We start way down in the hole. Took me over 20 years to dig out the hole just to get to zero because of my academic education. And we just worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and focused and worked and focused and worked and focused and worked. And now we here and I got to get more paper because we're going to go here. See, because the thing is, the plan unfolds over time. See, there's a part of this diagram that's up here, right? There's a part of this diagram that's up here that hadn't been devised yet. But there's aspects of it. But there's business ideas that I have that I'm going to invest in from my venture capital firm to self-fund my businesses so that I can create bigger and better business systems that I can have the option of 100% ownership, or I can raise capital. And I got one that I want to own 100%, and I got one that I want to raise capital. And I was talking to my TPA about that today. And you see what this is? The whole important of this is not for you to copy it. It's for you to understand that you have to devise one for yourself. And when you look at this, you have to see, like, where am I in this diagram at this point in my life? Where am I? And wherever you are, you start from there and build up. And whenever you make your diagram, put an arrow at the top of it, because there's more to come as life unfolds. It's your boy Lord Hype, and I'm out this bitch.